It's a new week in the Crew Motorfest, and that means we have a new summit. This one is called Video Games Classics, and this is my summit guide. Let's go. All right, before I get into it, huge shout out to Simgii. He helped a lot on this one. He showed me a few paths, and especially on that first race, San-Fran, there was a crazy path that he took. He's actually the world record holder on this one, so I definitely appreciate it a lot. Please go follow his channel, subscribe, turn on notifications, do all that. The link is in the description down below. All right, let's get into it. Let's talk about the cars first. So the Summit bundle you're gonna buy is gonna give you the Ferrari 512 TR, the Cadillac DeVille, Marco's Cab, and then the Yamaha YZ450F, which happens to be the best motocross bike in the game. And you're gonna need a couple of additional vehicles. The F8 is what I used for the Escapes, but use the hypercar of your choice. And then you need an off-road car for the slalom. I used the Peugeot 205 T16 Evo 2, but a lot of people have used the Tacoma as well. The difference in times is very small, so really you just need to use a slalom vehicle that has a set of Scorebreaker parts and skilled as your affix. If you don't have Scorebreaker, then make sure your skilled is maxed out at least. All right, the keys to this summit are shortcuts, and more shortcuts. This is a crazy summit where two of these races do not even have any checkpoints. You can just go wherever you want. So there's a lot of cuts. Anyways, here are the pro settings for all the vehicles I just mentioned. All right, the first event is called San-Fran, and this event is going to bother a lot of you, but there are no checkpoints in this race, so you're free to experiment with different paths. Simgii is the one with the current world record on this one, so I obviously got this information from him. Thank you so much, Simgii. All right. Ultimately, if you cannot do the path I'm about to show you, just know that you can basically drive anywhere so long as your car's health doesn't reach 0 and you get to the finish. With that being said, I'm going to provide some live commentary over the full run as I feel like this is going to be the best way to show you. All right, so you got to know that basically anytime you're off-road, you're going to be taking damage on your car. Get to this first dirt road as fast as possible. The dirt roads are considered roads and you don't take damage while driving on them. So you're going to want to stay on this dirt road. Do not hit any of the tall grass on the outside of the road. It will damage your vehicle. Your goal is to get to these two bushes and reset right there without taking any damage. Now that you're back on the road, you're going to want to get as much speed as possible, but do not use too much NOS. You're going to need a full bar of NOS for the upcoming jump. You're going to try to aim for this tree on the left, this rock formation. Try to hit it to the left of where I hit it and NOS as much as you can in the air. Your goal here is to keep as much speed as you can going up this hill. As you go up this hill, try your best to avoid all these little trees. Every single bush and tree and thing that you hit goes against your vehicle health. You should be spamming NOS over any type of air that you get coming over this hill. Even right here, you drop down. You need as much speed as you can. The more time you spend off-road, the more your vehicle health is going to get damaged. All right, pause it right here. Notice that your yellow line switches to a different path. It's because you're getting close to the road that's up above you. You need to go a little bit farther than this, and then you can reset your car to the road up above. Here, take a look. Now, with the reset, it puts you on this road here, and you want to have as much health or more health if possible, but this is a good amount of health. So if you do have what you're seeing on my screen, you can actually full send this right here. If you are actually lower on health than this, then you don't want to full send that corner. You're going to want to drive on the road and just survive. If you manage to make it through that super big cut up the mountain and you can get back to this road, then all you need to do is survive and you're going to get a good time. So basically what you're watching for the rest of this is just me in survival mode, but I will let the full thing play out and then I'll rejoin you when the next event starts. Alright, the next event is called Taxi Tip. This one is all about this first cut. Once you get to the road, you literally just follow it around to the finish. So I'll let this first part play out so you can see the entire cut all the way to the road. Enjoy. Alright, the next event is called Wheels of Steel. There are several cuts and small path changes since you're on a bike. The last few times we did this in the summits, we were in cars, so it's not exactly the same. But since it is a laps race, here is my first full lap. Enjoy. Alright, the next event is called Rally of Kings, and this one is going to be pretty frustrating for many of you, especially those of you who are using direct mode. It becomes strongly recommended to turn direct mode off for the motocross events. Sorry I didn't mention it in the first one. Anyways, this is a lap race, so here's my full second lap for your reference. Enjoy. All right, the next event is called From New York. And for this one, there's really only one extended cut. It starts at about 36%. At the checkpoint, make a hard left and go through the trees. I actually went a little bit wide in this clip, and if you're having trouble making this turn, you can always reset as soon as you hit the checkpoint, but then you're gonna have to start from a dead stop. I think it's better if you just slow down, take the turn normally, and call it a day. But once you're through those trees, you're gonna head towards the next checkpoint. Once you get that checkpoint, you're gonna drive again through the trees on the other side. And then once you get through there, go to the left of this yellow wall and reunite with the road. Now on the very next right-hand turn, you're gonna cut across the corner, and that's basically it. The rest of the race is on the path and on the road. All right, and the last event is called To Los Angeles. This one has a few cuts in it as well. At 25%, you're gonna cut to the left across the field. And at 34%, again, you're gonna cut to the left across the field. At 51%, you have a choice to make. This rock right here will allow you to jump over the wall and skip the entire S-turn. However, it's super difficult to get that right. The other option is to cut towards the checkpoint and reset your car. At 61%, you're gonna go to the right of this barrier and make your way down the hill. The barrel roll is optional. Make sure you get close enough to the flag on the other side of this wall, otherwise it will say checkpoint missed. Continue down the hill to reunite with the road and hit the next checkpoint, and that's basically it. You're gonna stick to the road for the remainder of this race. All right, next let's talk about the feats. So starting with the escape, this one can be challenging because you really need to start it with a plane in order to get a fast start and to get up on the highway as soon as you can. I'll let my full run play out for you so you can see exactly how I did it. Enjoy. All right, next let's talk about the slalom. For this one, you're definitely going to want to have score breaker parts with the skilled affix maxed out and either pure or extra pump. Probably pure is going to be your best bet. This is going to double your total points. Even if the vehicle class isn't off-road, it will still be better than using an off-road vehicle without score breaker. I went the direction it spawns you, but feel free to experiment a little bit. Maybe you like the other path better, which is completely backwards. Both directions give you a very similar amount of points either way, so just do which one you feel more comfortable with. All right, and lastly, let's talk about the low altitude. This one is pretty easy once you see the waterway down below. I recommend flying it once right side up just to get a handle on the path, and then try it a few times upside down. This is again a situation where score breaker would double your points, so definitely have that on your parts. And if you don't have score breaker, make sure you re-affix your parts to have the skilled affix on every single one. I unfortunately do not have score breaker on planes, but I still was able to manage getting 130,000 points. Obviously, the closer you are to the ground, the more multiplier you're going to get. All right, and here are my final scores. If you have any questions about this guide, feel free to send me a DM. I'm open to helping people individually through direct message, but keep in mind it is a text chat and there's only so much I can do without actually seeing your runs. So if you do have questions, video clips are helpful. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this helps. I will catch you on the next one. Trigger out.